Roman Reigns' title run finally ends. The Judgment Day kicks R-Truth out of the group on WWE Raw. The Rock's message to Rhea Ripley. AEW name replaces recently departed WWE employee. WWE announces Grudge Match for Raw 12-time WWE champion to return from injury and help Jey Uso win his first singles title. Paul Heyman tags CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Rikishi picks a side between Roman Reigns and The Rock. Let's jump right into it. The Judgment Day kicks R-Truth out of the group on WWE Raw. The Judgment Day has been dealing with a bizarre situation since Survivor Series 2023. R-Truth returned at the event and has had the twisted notion that he's a part of the sinister faction after his return. His primary feud is with JD McDonough, with the narrative being that only one of them could be in the Judgment Day. In all fairness, Truth did defeat McDonough in a loser leaves Judgment Day match, but Damian Priest and others did not enforce that stipulation. On last week's Raw, The Miz was supposed to have Judgment Day members on his show, but R-Truth arrived in the ring to represent the faction. Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough then opposed it, which led to a tag team match between a reunited Awesome Truth versus McDonough and Dirty Dom. This bout ended with Awesome Truth's victory. On tonight's Raw, McDonough is scheduled to face The Miz one-on-one. With the losses McDonough is being handed, if he loses against The Miz, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor may decide to actually cut him out of their faction owing to the continuous defeats and embarrassment. It was Finn Balor who had introduced McDonough to the group, even though the other members of Judgment Day didn't warm up to him immediately. With time, he did become a part of the faction. Considering the efforts he put into becoming a part of the group, he needs to bring in a victory for the Judgment Day to avoid being kicked out. On WWE Raw, Day 1, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano told Awesome Truth that DIY will be the next team to challenge Damian Priest and Finn Balor for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. Again, Truth took matters upon himself on behalf of the Judgment Day and approached General Manager Adam Pearce with a proposal. R-Truth proposed a match between Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa, and if the latter wins, then DIY gets a title match against the Archer of Infamy and the Prince. Finn Balor has to ensure he comes out on top on Raw to avoid putting their titles in jeopardy. The Rock's message to Rhea Ripley. Many WWE personalities, including Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and R-Truth, have reacted to The Rock's message to Rhea Ripley on Instagram. The Great One returned to World Wrestling Entertainment on the Day 1 edition of Monday Night Raw. He cut an incredibly hilarious promo before dropping a bombshell as he addressed Roman Reigns with the latter's head of the table catchphrase. However, after heading backstage, The Rock seems to have spent some time with Rhea Ripley and Kathy Kelly. The People's Champ recently took to Instagram to share backstage photos with the duo, where he can be seen holding Ripley's Women's World Championship. He also sent a message to the Eradicator saying that he loves and appreciates her. Many WWE personalities like Dwayne Johnson's post about Mommy, including Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, R-Truth, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley, Natalya, Samantha Irvin, Bronson Reed, Ivy Nile, Dragon Lee, Omos, and others. During the WWE 2024 preview special show, Rhea Ripley said that it was cool to see R-Truth team up with The Miz again because she was a huge fan of Awesome Truth growing up. The Eradicator also mentioned that Truth is not part of the Judgment Day because they have not come to an agreement on that. You know, I had an uptick here with Truth R-Truth. I really have. He's not in the Judgment Day. It was cool to see Awesome Truth back together. Don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of them growing up, but they should stay together, and they should stay away from the Judgment Day because there's 5 of us, and that's it. We're not looking at Truth right now and he's trying to wiggle his way in. To me, he thinks he's a part of it, but we have never signed off on that. We have not discussed this, we have not come to agreement that Truth is in the Judgment Day. So far he is not. Sorry everyone, Rhea Ripley said. Some fans even want R-Truth to join the fearsome faction as their leader. It remains to be seen what WWE has planned for his future. Do you believe Truth should join the Judgment Day in WWE? AEW name replaces recently departed WWE employee. Veteran journalist Bill Apter recently commented on the possibility of an AEW name being the person to fill the position left by Kevin Dunn after his WWE departure. The AEW name in question is Michael Mansory. While he was previously called Kevin Dunn's protege by many, speculation of him being next in line for Kevin's job was proved wrong after he signed with AEW. With Kevin Dunn leaving the company now, Bill Apter believes there is a chance of Mansory coming back to fill a spot. On the latest edition of Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, Apter responded to the speculation of Michael Mansory jumping ship to WWE. Possibly. There's also a lot of other people, a lot of other producers that worked under Kevin that probably would be able to slip into his shoes but not do the same job that he did. I noticed when I watched Monday Night Raw recently that there were a lot more video packages than there had been in the past, very well produced. So maybe the new company is looking for a new signature in the production end there as well, said Apter. While Kevin Dunn's departure came as a surprise to many, Bill Apter was not one of them. On the same episode of Sportskeeda's Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, the veteran journalist stated, number. It shocked me the moment I heard it for a second, but then I realized that when I heard, with the merger that they have a lot of their own team over at UFC side, and the amount of money that Kevin Dunn, who was fabulous by the way with what he did, it was his stamp on all the shows, on everything. When I fear the amount of money that they might be paying him, they might be, cutting down on costs. That was one of the big things that was mentioned. As of now, only time will tell what Kevin Dunn plans to do next after leaving WWE. WWE announces Grudge Match for Raw. WWE has announced another Grudge Match for the second 2024 episode of their flagship TV show. The New Day and Imperium have feuded for a few months now. With Xavier Woods out of action, Jey Uso teamed with Kofi Kingston on last Monday's Raw Day 1 special for a win over Imperium's Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. The match went just over 6 minutes and ended via referee stoppage after Kingston dropkicked Vinci. WWE has since confirmed a Kingston vs. Kaiser singles match for Monday's Raw from Portland, Oregon. This is being billed as a grudge match between the two. Raw this week will mark the first televised singles bout between Kingston and Kaiser. They have worked 5 non-televised singles matches since December 26, and the New Day member picked up the win in each bout. Big E is not the only injured member of the New Day, as Xavier Woods is also apparently on the shelf. He has not wrestled since the 6-team tag team turmoil match on the November 27 edition of WWE Raw. It was reported that Woods was pulled from the road as he needed to heal up after being banged up a bit. Backstage sources reported that the former TNA wrestler would be back on WWE TV within the first 2 weeks of the new year. It will be interesting to see if Woods returns this week to help even the odds against Imperium. There's also speculation on the New Day challenging the Judgment Day for their undisputed tag team championship. Alpha Academy and DIY are also in the mix for a shot at the titles. The current Raw lineup for Monday's show at the Moda Center in Portland is The Miz vs. Jiggy McDonough, Kofi Kingston vs. Ludwig Kaiser, Tommaso Ciampa vs. Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes vs. Shinsuke Nakamura, the return of CM Punk, plus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance defending the Women's Tag Team Championship against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. What are your predictions for Monday's Raw? How do you feel about the way WWE is using the New Day right now? 12-time WWE champion to return from injury and help Jey Uso win his first singles title. Jey Uso has been trying his best to establish himself as main event material. Even though he has potential, he hasn't quite won enough singles matches to prove himself. His first singles win ever since arriving on the Red Brand was on the December 18, 2023 edition of Monday Night Raw, where he defeated Ludwig Kaiser with some assistance from Kofi Kingston. On the latest episode of WWE Raw, Uso and Kofi Kingston won against the Imperium's Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser after the match had to be stopped midway because Vinci needed medical attention. Currently, Xavier Woods is recovering from an injury, but his status is seemingly week to week. Considering main event Jay's alliance with Kofi Kingston, it's possible Xavier Woods will return to join the same alliance. With Woods and Kingston by his side, main event Jay can set out to win his first singles title. Since he's on Raw, his target can be the World Heavyweight Championship. However, given his feud with Imperium, Uso can turn his focus on Gunther's Intercontinental Championship while Woods and Kingston take care of Vinci and Kaiser. Main event Jay's victory against Ludwig Kaiser helped him get his momentum back. It set him up for future bouts with the faction as well. Wrestling journalist Bill Apter claimed that even though Uso won the match, it wasn't enough to make Jay main event worthy. I don't see that. When Jey Uso was on Raw last night, it was a good match. But main event Jey Uso, to me, did not seem like main event Jey Uso. He got murdered in a lot of that match. He really did. I don't see him as a choice for the Rumble. It's unknown how WWE wants to proceed with main event Uso and Kofi Kingston's union and whether or not they'll get a shot at the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Paul Heyman tags CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman addressed his latest tweet to 3 of his biggest clients, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. Over the years, Heyman has managed some of the biggest superstars in the history of WWE. When fans talk about Heyman's greatest clients, names like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk are bound to come up. All 3 top stars did incredibly well under the Wiseman's guidance. A tweet recently acknowledged the fact that Paul Heyman has managed Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. Heyman noticed the tweet and couldn't help but respond to the same. He heaped big praise on himself and then tagged all 3 megastars in his tweet. Heyman also said that he was Punk's BFF back in the day. Last year, Heyman had a chat with Rick Rubin. He revealed that he was interested in working with Ronda Rousey. Here's what Heyman told Rubin. One of the few names on this list was Roman Reigns. Another was Brock Lesnar, obviously. Another was Ronda Rousey. Yet little by little and relatively quickly, those 3 options were trimmed down to just one. Ronda Rousey was having a baby. Brock Lesnar wasn't coming back with Saudi Arabia being down. Kind of left Roman Reigns in there. So Vince calls me in the middle of August and he says, we're gonna take you back into television. The rest, as they say, is history. Roman Reigns made his big return at SummerSlam and later joined forces with Heyman on an episode of SmackDown. The 2 top names are still together on WWE TV, and the Tribal Chief is the biggest name in pro wrestling today. Paul Heyman is having quite possibly the best run of his legendary career as a member of the Bloodline. Drop your reactions to Heyman's tweet mentioning his biggest clients. Rikishi picks a side between Roman Reigns and The Rock. The WWE Universe has been shaken to its core after The Rock called out Roman Reigns on last week's episode of Raw. The Hollywood star is looking to become the head of the table. This situation may have divided the Inoue family, with some siding with the current tribal chief and others hoping the Great One would come out on top. For example, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa are on Reigns' side, while Jay might likely support The Rock. Their father, Rikishi, has also seemingly chosen a side between his two cousins. From the looks of things, he is firmly on board with Roman Reigns. Rikishi tweeted a video of The Rock telling the WWE Hall of Famer to stay out of his life, with a blood emoji in the caption. This was from a storyline in 2000, but evidently, the former Intercontinental Champion hasn't forgotten about it. This was likely Rikishi subtly making his feelings known over who he wants to see come out on top between Reigns and The Rock. It makes sense as to how his sons, Jimmy and Solo, are part of the tribal chief's bloodline stable. Triple H has a dilemma on his hands. At first glance, a match between Roman Reigns and The Rock can only occur at WrestleMania. After all, it is the biggest match WWE can book at the event. However, this year's shows look to be dedicated to Cody Rhodes finishing his story. So if the plan is for the American Nightmare to win the undisputed WWE Universal title from the Tribal Chief, the two cousins could face off at WWE Elimination Chamber. The February 2024 premium live event will take place at Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia. So it would make sense for The Rock to get his match in front of that massive crowd before WWE moves on to Rhodes and Reigns at WrestleMania 40. When will The Rock face Roman Reigns? Elimination Chamber 2024 or WrestleMania 40? Roman Reigns' title run finally ends. WWE Friday Night SmackDown New Year's Revolution was a chaotic show that took a turn nobody expected. The main event of the evening featured AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight clashing in a triple threat match over a chance to battle Roman Reigns at the 2024 Royal Rumble. Things took a turn, however. Instead of a challenger being decided, Roman Reigns interrupted the bout and he, alongside Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, battered all three men. The plot backfired, on the contrary, as instead of not having a challenger, Nick Aldis declared Reigns will battle all three men at Royal Rumble 2024. As if this wasn't bad enough, there's a chance a unique stipulation could be added to the bout to further punish Reigns for his behavior on WWE SmackDown. Nick Aldis could reveal that Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and maybe even Paul Heyman are barred from ringside in the upcoming title match. This would thus put his title defense in serious jeopardy. The head of the table has dominated the company for years now. He is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and has been a world champion non-stop for around 3.5 years. One of the major reasons for his success has been the bloodline and its impact in most of his matches. If Mick does put a rule into place barring the remaining members of the faction from interfering, this could truly lead to the end of Roman Reigns as the reigning champion of SmackDown. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship bout wasn't the only one confirmed for Tropicana Field later this month. The United States Championship will also be on the line at the 2024 Royal Rumble. Logan Paul is the reigning United States Champion. He won the title from Rey Mysterio at Crown Jewel 2023 in Saudi Arabia. The Maverick is yet to defend the coveted prize, however. Paul's opponent was decided via a single elimination tournament. The final match was held on Friday Night SmackDown last week. Santos Escobar battled Kevin Owens in an excellent match. Ultimately, the prizefighter defeated the Emperor of Lucha Libre to move forward. The former Universal Champion winning makes sense. He and Paul have had a lot of issues as of late, with plenty of smack talk going back and forth between them. Owens will be a tough task for the Maverick, but he has proven himself against the best in the industry. Who will leave Royal Rumble 2024 the United States Champion? That isn't quite clear, and fans have to wait for the explosive match to happen later this month.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing